Speaking of which, I mean, Isaac right now still a tropical storm, but most likely will it become a hurricane?
Likely to become a hurricane late tonight, possibly during the day tomorrow. Fortunately, it's been strengthening very slowly, which is a good thing. I mean, because it's really just, it was 7 years ago, almost today, almost to the day that Hurricane Katrina was bearing down on New Orleans with about 24 hours to go, a Category 5 hurricane. I mean, and this is nothing close. I know that there's been some comparisons there, but this is not any sort of repeat scenario, and there's not the potential for that kind of repeat scenario. So that's the good thing. That being said, it's still going to be a problem for the Gulf Coast, most definitely, but it doesn't look like a major disaster, and that's the good news. Now, as we take a look at, this is a live view right now of Lake Pontchartrain in New Orleans, and well, you see a little bit of wave action on the lake there. The wind's starting to pick up. Nothing too bad across the New Orleans area right now. However, the Lake Pontchartrain Causeway, which connects New Orleans to the north shore of Louisiana, which is a major evacuation route, likely closing at some point during the day tomorrow when the winds get above 39 miles per hour. So really, the evacuation has to be complete by the time we get towards later on tomorrow evening before those conditions start to deteriorate, and that's going to happen across the New Orleans area, likely during the late afternoon into the early evening hours tomorrow. Now, let's take a look. This is our WeatherBug time lapse from Pensacola, Florida from today, and you can see actually kind of a nice sunrise there, but as we go through the day, notice the clouds thickening on up, even a couple of showers. Notice the breeze starting to pick up as you look at the trees. Notice the trees starting to shake there as that wind starts to increase, and that will get a little bit stronger as we go into tomorrow. Pensacola not expected to feel the full brunt of the storm, but still some storm surge going into as far east as the Florida Gulf Coast, as well as some rather strong winds in a couple of spots. So we take a look at the satellite view. Here's Isaac, and notice the little blow up near the center. This is not a well-organized storm right now. We have a couple of bands, a strong band on the southwest side, and a little burst of thunderstorm activity near the center. Dry air keeps wrapping into the storm, and that's what's been choking it off and preventing it from really intensifying. The water's plenty warm in the Gulf of Mexico. It's the dry air that's the issue, and that's the reason why it's not intensifying quickly and likely not going to intensify quickly overnight. Some of the bands already starting to reach the Gulf Coast right now. Winds 70 miles per hour, moving towards the northwest at 9, still about 300 miles away from New Orleans. This is going to reach the Gulf Coast by late tomorrow night into early Wednesday morning. Notice the timing of this. About 1 a.m. Wednesday, moving onshore near Barataria Bay in Louisiana, and then moving up towards northern Louisiana by late Thursday. As it moves into northern Louisiana, some of that rain is going to start moving into Arkansas. So deteriorating conditions as we go into central Arkansas late Thursday, going into Friday. By Friday afternoon, starting to pull out, conditions will improve. The worst of the weather right now appears to be late Thursday night into early Friday morning across central Arkansas. Now, what about the potential for heavy rain and flooding? That is highly dependent on the track. If Isaac goes farther towards the west, we're talking about some heavy rain, potential for severe weather as well. If it goes east of central Arkansas, the heaviest rain mainly along into the east of the track, we'd be looking at a little bit less. Right now, the computer model is still clustering a little bit more across western Arkansas, and for that reason, I'm leaning towards more of a scenario for some heavy rainfall and possible flooding. Right now, we have a weak frontal boundary washing out across central Arkansas, and that's provided a few showers during the evening, but most of the rest of those showers have been fizzling out. Just a little bit of light rain around Danville. Right now, temperatures upper 70s, low 80s out there. 81 very humid degrees in Little Rock. Our tropical model showing the timing of the rain moving into Arkansas by late Wednesday, still south of us, but as we go into Thursday, here comes that rain, especially late Thursday into Friday morning. Where you live tomorrow, temperature starting off with the low 70s. No problems tomorrow morning as you're sending the kids off to school or going to work. A few clouds around, more sunshine as we go into the afternoon. Temperatures up into the mid 90s. Here's that extended forecast. The breeze starting to pick up, especially as we go into tomorrow. Oops, I just went right past that 7-day forecast. Let me bring that back up for you. I'm so sorry about that. It happens. I had an itchy trigger finger there. There's the 7-day forecast. And we got the chimes in there again, too. Thursday, Friday, that's where we have the heaviest rainfall come on in. And again, this is going to be something to monitor because especially if the remnants go over or just to the west of central Arkansas, the potential for heavy rain and flooding, we could be looking at easily 3 to 6 inches of rain, possibly even more than that. However, that is really going to be determined by the exact path, and still too early to tell exactly who's going to get the heaviest rainfall. So make sure to keep close track of the weather over the next couple of days as we track Isaac.
Okay,
Sounds
will do.
Good.